I'm a granola girl and a recovering dirtbag, and this is my story. My name is Bree like the cheese, and let me tell you how I got here. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, hiking and exploring all of the mountainous scenes that were around there. One thing led to another, and a simple, mellow hike started turning into climbing mountains and finding off-the-beaten waterfalls like one of these. This was my favorite one that I ever found. Off-trail waterfalls led to climbing mountains led to backpacking trips, and those backpacking trips led to a bunch of road trips and spending all my weekends in the mountains. I then moved to Bellingham, Washington for school. Spring break of freshman year, I wanted to go to Utah and see all the national parks that were there, and I couldn't find anyone to go with me. So I took my first solo road trip and went to Utah and saw all of the national parks that were there. A month later, I found myself in Southern California with friends for the first time. One thing led to the other, and all of a sudden I was in Alaska working for the summer. This summer remains to be one of my favorite summers ever. Made so many good friends and we had so much fun. I was home for 1 week in Washington before I was off on another trip to study abroad, backpacking in Nepal for the whole fall. Life then slowed down for a couple of months while I was back in Washington for the winter. But this passed by pretty quick as I was only there for 4 months. I loved Utah so much when I was there that I decided to take an internship in Utah for the summer. But I took the long way there and went down the 101 in Oregon and California before I drove out. I built a little home in my car and went to Utah to work wilderness therapy for the next 4 months. Wilderness therapy, you work for 8 days and have 6 days off. I got to take a lot of trips on those 6 days off. But then in August, unfortunately, I got in a pretty bad car accident, and that sent me home back to the Northwest. I made the most of the rest of my summer while I healed until school started in the fall. Senior year of college started, and it was filled with lots of good friends and lots of fun adventures in the final year. But then COVID hit. 2 weeks into COVID, my old boss from Wilderness Therapy sent me an email and was like, "Hey, you want to come out and work again?" And I said yes. I quickly arranged to finish up the rest of college in a different state and working a different schedule. All of my professors were more than happy to work with me, and I finished my degree in June. After about 6 months of working wilderness, I hurt my knee on the job. I ended up having to take a 3-month-long break to heal. After those couple of months, I finally got to return to working again. But then, only about 2 months after I was healed, I got a concussion while skiing in the backcountry. Happened about 15 minutes after this was filmed. I tried to return to work after that, but I never could. I got burnt out on the job and on life. I found a new job, and after almost 4 months of healing, I was finally able to get out after it and start living life again. So this is the story of finding balance. Balance between living life slow and also living life large. Now I have so many stories to share with everyone. So if my story at all resonates with you, or you just like a good travel story, interact with this and I'll make more.